was born in the Bronx to a single mother. Now, who here knows the Bronx? You've been to the Bronx, right? Now, if you're from the Bronx or you know the Bronx, you know that very few people actually get out of the Bronx, right? So most of my friends still live in their rent-controlled apartments waiting for their parents to die so they can take over, okay? That's where I came from. That's where my mom raised me. That's where she did what she had to do to keep us going. Now, we moved to Miami when I was in high school, and I hated Miami. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I was a New Yorker, I was into hip hop, I was wearing baggy jeans and Timberlands, had long hair, hats to the back. When I moved here, kids were wearing Z Cavaricci and pointy shoes. Those of you laughing just gave your age away. So, when I moved here, it was very difficult for me to get into what was happening here in Miami. So, in, what was it, 92? I can't remember. I went to New York on vacation for the summer, and Hurricane Andrew wiped us out. Yeah, some of you remember Hurricane Andrew, right? Hurricane Andrew wiped us out of all places, and we decided to live in Homestead. So we completely got wiped out. We didn't lose a window, we lost a house, right? And so I ended up staying in New York for another year to do school over there, and I was ecstatic. I was probably the only person on earth that was thankful to Hurricane Andrew. I came back here for my senior year, and when I was in my senior year of school, I got frustrated with the school here in Miami because I only needed a credit and a half to graduate, but they wanted me to sit in school for 7 credits, so I dropped out. Crazy, right? Of course, my mom kicked me out of the house because my mom's a 5'3" Puerto Rican woman and she wasn't having it. Not only that, she's an educator, so she really wasn't having that. I went back to school at night to a school that would allow me to do my credit and a half and still maintain a high school diploma. Now, I'm gonna tell you the day that changed my life. See, my mom kicked my butt for a long time. And so, how many in here have children? Put your hands in the air. How many of you feel like you nag at your children consistently over and over about the same shit all the time? I want to tell you to keep doing that. Right? Because repetition creates memory. And if you keep doing that, that little voice in the back of their head is going to work. And I'm going to explain to you that a little bit. So I was working at, of course at this time I'm kicked out of my house again. Do you think it was my mom's fault that I was kicked out of my house? No, not at all. Even though I blamed her at the time, right? Because I didn't understand taking accountability for my own actions. So, I'm working at Wendy's. Now, those of you from Miami, you guys know, you finish the turnpike, you're on your way to the Keys, and there's a Wendy's on the right side. That's where I used to work, right? And I have this amazing ability to pick up energy from people. I love to feel energy. And you know, if you're like me, you know whether you like somebody or don't like them immediately. And so I'm on my way to work because I got kicked out of the house and my mom took away my car. And so now I'm on my way to work with my friend Sergio, who's dropping me off, and I look at Sergio and I say, Sergio, wait for me out here. I don't have a good feeling about today. He says, what are you talking about? I said, just don't. So I walk into Wendy's and my manager immediately looks at me and says, get to work! What are you doing? Now mind you, I'm 15 minutes early. Get to work! What are you doing? Go put a headset on. Can't you see how busy we are? And immediately what ran through my head is, dude, this is Wendy's. Why are you yelling at me right now? Right? So I didn't clock in. I put the headset down. I walked out. I got back in the car. Sergio looks at me and goes, what the hell just happened? I said, I quit. My manager went nuts on me. I quit. Now, obviously, I'm telling you the story and you know that I need a kick in the butt at this time in my life, right? So we drive across the street to the Florida Keys Outlet Mall. How many of y'all know the Outlet Mall? Right? We have no money, so we're just walking around. And as we're walking, these two Marines are walking opposite of us. And I look at Sergio, I don't know anything about the military at the time. I knew G.I. Joe, Transformers, that's about it, right? So I look at Sergio because I know Sergio's father was in the Army, a retired Army, and I looked at Sergio, I said, who are those guys? They said, Marines. I said, man, they look sharp. He said, yes, they do. So we turned around and looked at them. No shit, the guy was standing there looking at me like, how did he turn around and know? that I was going to turn around and look at him. I don't know. Maybe it happened to him all the time because he was in uniform. People would look back. So I looked at him and he looked at me and he said, "You want to speak to me, don't you?" It was the best sales tactic on the planet. I looked at him, I said, yes I do. Now I immediately jumped in and went head on. Of course I got accepted back in my house again because I told my mom I joined the Marine Corps. She was like, "Yes, Tobacco, you're good." Right? So I joined the Marine Corps and I'm doing all my stuff, and then it starts to settle in, a little bit of doubt, right? Because now I have a ship date and I have this doubt. But I knew I needed something, I needed a change in my life. So I decided that I was going to interview the other services. And there was just something about the Marine Corps that made me know that I needed them. I made an appointment with the Air Force, because that's how the Air Force works. You can't just walk into their office, you gotta make an appointment with them, because the guy's never really there. So I walk inside. Sorry if there's an Air Force veteran in here. I walk inside, he shows me the video, I immediately look at the video and decide to myself, this is not enough to change my life. And I was very honest with him and I walked out. The Navy guy was never in his office and I could never reach him. And the Army guys were too relaxed for me. See, I went into the Army guy's office and he looked at me with his feet on his desk. I'll never forget this. He had his feet on his desk, he was in his fatigue uniform, leaning back in his chair. There was this big banner across the wall that said $30,000 sign-up bonus. And he looked at me and he said, I see you in the Marine Corps office all the time, it's directly across from them. He says, $30,000 sign-up bonus. See, what he didn't know was that that wasn't going to impress me. What I wanted to know is, how are you going to change my life? How are you going to affect me? And I looked at him with his feet kicked up, and I looked across the hall, and I looked at all these sharp Marines with creases that could cut through wood. And I said, "I'm sorry, man, I'm out of here." And I stuck to the Marine Corps. When I was in the Marine Corps, several years later, I started to go back to school. So you remember that little nagging voice that I told you about? It was in the back of my head. My mom consistently telling me that education is key, and that no matter what I do in life, I need to ensure that I get educated. And the Marine Corps said, "Guess what, guys? We changed the program, we pay 100% of your education." I said, "I'm in." I got a master's degree in international business. And I did that. And I did that mainly because I took action based upon what was pressured into my life, my entire life, by an amazing woman. And so I want to talk to you guys about your mindset and how you use it and how to train your mind to take action in your life. See, I took action. I knew I needed a change in life. I joined the military. I'm not saying that's what you got to do if you need to change, but that's what was right for me. I knew I needed to get educated because at some point I decided, I'm not going to do this forever. I want more. I want to make more money. I want to do more, right? And so I went back to school. I got out of the Marine Corps just after my 9th year, and I just went through the ringer. Couldn't figure out how to interact with civilians. I was surrounded by military people for 9 years. I didn't know how to act with civilians. I couldn't understand lazy people. I'm living in Miami and I couldn't understand why everything started late. Right? In the Marine Corps, it's you're 15 minutes early or you're late. In Miami, is if you're 15 minutes late, you're early. Hence why we started so late today. And so I started to go through job after job after job until I got my real estate license, really felt a passion for this. I had a CEO of a company, a steel company, that hired me for a job, and he said to me, "I'm going to hire you not because you have sales experience, because obviously you don't, but I'm going to hire you because you're a Marine, and you'll be on time, you'll do what I tell you to do, and you'll leave when you're supposed to leave." I said, "Okay, I'll take it." I was this top sales guy for 5 years in a row because I showed up on time, I did what he told me to do, and I left when I was supposed to. And oftentimes, I didn't leave when I was supposed to, I stayed on the grind and I stayed hustling. Because I knew that I wanted to make the money. And for me, I was making in 3 months what I was typically making in 2 years in the military. And so I was excited about this, but at night, there was this thing that I used to do. It was called sell houses. And I would do this at night because it excited me. Because as much as that job was great and I was making good money, I was sitting in a cubicle and I started to call it my coffin. I hated sitting in that cubicle, man. So our last speaker, Eric, said, I don't know how you real estate agents do it. I don't know how mortgage professionals do it. I don't know how you sit in an office for 13 hours a day. I don't get it. And read numbers, ooh, right? So for me, it was about being out and about and taking action on that plan. Now, last June, I'm in Las Vegas, and with Douglas Elliman at the time, and I have 5 amazing agents on my team, and we're doing amazing things. And we're sitting in a pool, and somebody looks over at me and says, hey Dave, why don't you own your own brokerage? This is mid-June last year. I said, oh no, I'm good. He goes, yeah, but you could be so much better. Ruin my whole damn weekend. All I could do was think about opening a real estate brokerage after that. Now, I knew I always wanted to do that at some point. I just didn't think it was that soon. Mid-June. July 1st, I signed a lease for 3,000 square feet. August 3rd, we were open. Now, what if, for one moment, if you thought to yourself, what if you came up with a positive idea and you were able to take away all the doubt and thought process between the positive idea and the actual ability to take action on it? Would that work for you? Absolutely, right? But do we do that? No, absolutely not. We come up with great ideas all the time. How many of you have seen somebody do something and go, shoot, I thought about that 5 years ago? Happens to me all the time. I'm a billionaire in my head. Happens to me all the time. So now, what if you're able to train your mind to think of a positive situation that could completely change your life, a file, your business, your relationship? You have a positive mission, and you know the mission, and you're able to remove all doubt and all the thought process between that and taking action. Now I want you to think to yourself about the one thing that was possibly slowing down your business today that you absolutely hate to do, but you know it's a positive thing to do, and it could absolutely change your business and your life. See, I went nuts. I got my business partner sitting here, and I have my fiance sitting there. And for the first 3 months of business, they thought I was completely out of my mind. But they let me go. And that's why I feel comfortable being in business with them. I promise you that if you leave this room and you're able to take that one thing that is most valuable, that one idea that could potentially change your entire life, business, relationship, whatever it is, and you take action upon it immediately, and you understand that it's going to create additional situations in your life that you will also have to take action on. I promise you, you're going to think back to this day and you're going to say, shit, I'm glad I was there. Does that make sense to y'all? You guys get good information today? I'm very excited